the News Channel 5 network, this is MorningLine with Nick Barris.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Morning Line. I'm Nick Barris here with you on this Tuesday, and we've got a good show on tap. I hope you just pull up a chair, grab yourself a cup of coffee, join in the conversation if you'd like, because as I told you yesterday, let people know the man is coming on to talk about Social Security this morning. It's our every month we have him on, chance to talk to you about seeking Social Security disability, SSI. If you have questions about your checks, how the direct deposit's going, you want to know maybe, should I take early retirement? How much more money do I get if I hang in there? Oh, by the way, I just applied for a Social Security disability and was denied. Do I need a lawyer? All those types of questions and more. We open up the phone lines. I like to think over the years that we've been doing this program, we have helped literally thousands of people with this process, for better or for worse, and I think for most of the time it's for the better. So the number's on the screen, 737-7587. This, as opposed to having to call or go down there, you can talk directly to the man in charge of the whole Middle Tennessee region, and that would be Josh Horn.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning,
everyone.
I always like saying that. We've been doing this for so long, and when Josh sits and joins me here, and you've done a terrific job, you really have. I remember when you first started, everyone a little bit nervous, and you're so much more comfortable and so good. And we've had great people from Social Security going back over the years. Yeah, Daryl Payne, James Shanks, Robin Fountain when she would come on occasion. I mean, just good people taking your questions, answering, and trying to help. So thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy it.
Hey, listen, as we start, I always look over here and see what you brought. You have a news release. Let's cover anything you want to touch on first.
Yeah, so since the last time we spoke, the Social Security Board of Trustees released their annual report to Congress. And so some of you who might be news hounds or might like to dig into a little bit more details about Social Security, you can hop on our website, socialsecurity.gov, or you can just Google the Social Security Trustees report and pull it up and look through it. But the most significant thing I think that you'll find in there is that there's been some positive improvement with the Social Security Disability Fund, and basically the point at which it's supposed to run out of excess money is backed up a little bit.
So what do they say? Yeah, we've talked about this. Will there be monies there for those of us like you and I when we get to retirement? What percentage? And you were saying, well, at some point, money will always be there, but it may be 75% what you would have got. So what are they saying now that's good news?
So they're basically, for years and years and years, we had more people working and paying into the system than we had drawing from the system as retirees or disability beneficiaries. And so money was going into the trust fund and into the trust fund. And so what's happened is that as the population shifts have happened and fewer folks are in the workforce compared to the folks that are drawing retirement and disability, but in particular retirement. And so more and more money is being pulled out of the trust fund than it was maybe a few decades ago. And so that excess money that was in the trust fund is being pulled out, and so that funds are going to be depleted basically in the next several years. And so it's what the trustees report basically said is that the projections are that the disability trust funds are going to be depleted in 2052, which is significantly more or higher than what they thought previously.
Meaning that it's farther in the future. They thought it was going to happen sooner than that.
Exactly, and so that's good news. And so they say about 90% at this point of benefits will be payable at that point. And that's good.
So prior to that, then maybe let's say I retire in 15 years or something like that, then I would get my full retirement or Social Security, because that's before that time.
Right. Yeah, and this is talking about in the future, and if nothing happens. Of course, Congress is always trying to work on, or is working on, solutions and different things to help work on that. Obviously, we want to continue to be able to pay full benefits. And at this point in time, if you were to become disabled today, it's there for you now. I mean, if you became disabled or if you retired today, you do have those full benefits payable to you. It's just kind of what may happen in the future if things progress on the track, but they're always kind of working on that. And as you can see, there's been some positive improvements in getting folks back into the workforce, having a strong economy, things like that, really affect how much is going into the trust fund and able to pay.
I wonder, you do a great job coming on this show educating, and we try to get the word out just on how Social Security works. And I have a great understanding of it only because I've been doing this show for so long, but I'm just wondering, the average individual, especially before they reach the retirement age, I almost think Social Security is abstract to them. They know and they see on their pay stubs in the old days, that, okay, there's money being, what is this FDIC and what is this and what is this? And then wondering and thinking, and in your mind, when you get to retirement, I think there are some people out there that think, well, Social Security will kick in when I retire and I'll get as much money as I did when I was working. I mean, seriously, there's some people that believe that, or Social Security, and they have really no concept on how much they get. But I mean, we need to remind folks that Social Security is not a retirement plan to live on, though some people choose to because they have no choice. That is a supplement. If you're planning on living on what you're getting from Social Security, it's going to be tight.
Yeah, basically back in the 1930s when they were trying to figure out a way to secure and make sure that folks were living, at least at the poverty line, or maybe a little bit higher. I mean, they were trying to figure out a way to do that, and that's kind of where Social Security came into play. But it was never designed, like Nick said, to be the sole source of income. It was always designed to be kind of part of a three-legged stool, is what they would call it, between your savings, your investments, any other kind of income, if you got a part-time job, things like that. And then Social Security was supposed to come in to make sure you were living above that poverty. For those who have basically said, well, when I'll worry about it when I retire because I'll have Social Security there. Those are the ones that really come in and they kind of get a rude awakening that it's not necessarily as much as they thought it was. And of course, this might be a good time to mention the online estimator. Whether you're 20 years old, 40 years old, or fixing to retire, you can go on to socialsecurity.gov. You can sign up for a Social Security account, my Social Security account, and get in there and look at that benefit estimator. That's going to tell you, approximately how much you're going to be drawn from Social Security. So if I'm 35 years old and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do for retirement, another 30 years from now, and I go in there and realize that my Social Security is probably going to be about $1,000 a month, and I want to live at large when I'm 65 or whatever. I know I'm going to have to put a lot more savings away or things like that.
No, exactly. So that estimator is fascinating to look at, and just check that out. So many people, I think, just think, okay, Social Security will be there, and it's less. And by the way, Social Security, the government taxes on up to how much of earnings? The max? It's up to 200 and something?
So the max, so it's not on all your income. Right. It's only up to, there's a certain max limit. It's $132,000 this year, basically.
So if you make 132, so if you make $5 million, Social Security is just based on up to $132,000.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and so it takes out. A lot of people don't make that much money, of course, but up till that point. And so the maximum you could get is if over 35 years you earned $132,000. The maximum amount you could draw, for instance, say what Bill Gates would be drawing is
this year the maximum is $2,861 if you paid maximum taxes every year for the last 35
that would mean
years.
that you've earned that maximum, whatever it was, and right now it's $132,000 for your 35 years of working life, which people like me not going to approach that, but the more you earn breaks into it. But yeah, just keep that in mind, and to think that you're going to retire on that is tough. I mean, the money's not always what you think it's going to be. Just too early now to ask whether or not they're going to get a cost of living increase, right?
No, but there's usually somebody who asks, and it's always kind of on our mind trying to figure out, because hey, if you are in that situation where or maybe you're not getting much else besides Social Security, you're always looking for ways to increase a little bit more. Typically those decisions are made by Congress in November, and when we find out around then. So
yeah, I just thought throw that out there. Listen, we'll take a break on that, and when we come back, we've got some phone calls already coming in. Donnie and my good friend Paul waiting there. The lines are open, 737-7587. If you have a question or comment for our friend on Social Security, anything that we can help you with, we'd be glad to try. We'll take a break and be back with those calls right after this.